So what are we talking about tonight, Ron? We kind of threw a wrench in the.
Yeah, we did. We lied last week.
Yeah, we didn't mean to lie.
So,
it was just we had another thought this week, but we want to start studying the Book of John, and just kind of so that you guys can be a little more interactive, so that you know what we're going to talk about before we start talking about it.
Yeah,
that's what we want to start doing. But then Sunday I spoke, and then we had some thoughts and comments about that.
Yeah, it's not that we lied. It's just that promises change.
I don't think that's the definition of a promise, is that it changes. Things change, yes. Yeah. I don't think we promised. I think we just said.
There's a recording of us saying this is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, that's what we did say that.
It's pretty close to a promise.
But if you did read the first chapter of John like we asked you to,
that's good.
Then that's just a bonus.
Read it again.
And read it again. We might talk about it next week.
Yeah. Want to. I think. I'm not going to say it this time that we're going to talk about next week.
Yeah, because you blew it. Yes.
But I might not even be here next week. So.
What?
Yeah, I might have a child.
That doesn't mean the world stops. That doesn't mean Wednesdays quit happening.
For me.
Oh my goodness. So I'm going to have an empty seat here beside me. I'll put a cardboard cutout of your face or something.
Yeah, you can put a cardboard cutout.
Oh, that's crazy. Maybe we need a guest. We need a guest next week. If you want to be here next week and fill Ryan's place, let me know. Just let me know in the comments. Yeah, and
we'll take anybody.
We won't take anybody. We'll do a raffle.
A raffle? That's completely random.
We're gonna tell them we're gonna do a raffle, and I'm just gonna pick who it's gonna be.
So just pick.
Yeah. So anyway, so let's get to talking about tonight. So the topic for tonight, Ryan, you want to tell them what the topic is?
The topic of tonight is the importance of community. Yeah, I think it's something that I end up talking about pretty often. Anytime I speak on stage, or I don't know, I'm sure I've probably said it in this as well, just talking about all the different stuff we've talked about on the midweek messages. But yeah, the importance of community, the importance of friendship, the importance of church, and what church really is.
Yeah,
Church is so much more than just a building, but it is building a community and finding relationships inside of that.
Right. Yeah. So, that word, that's kind of a newer thing to church, church. So kind of a churchy talk to talk about community, because community is the town you live in. But when you put that over in church, like a community has somebody takes out the trash, they have somebody takes care of the water, they have, you got the citizens of the community, you've got all these different aspects that make up a community. And that's what you have in church, is you have that family of people. And sometimes you need this person, sometimes you need that person, sometimes you're the person they need. Mm-hmm. And the value of that is what we want to talk about. And, what it takes to be a part of a community, and how important it is. Because, I just can't imagine, especially these, I think these last few months when we remember not the pandemic. I
remember the pandemic. We're living in the pandemic still. We're currently in this.
With the quarantine, that's what I'm trying to say.
That's
when everybody was quarantined, all of a sudden the value of friendship and just wanting to hang out, wanting to see people, then we realized
the quarantine's been over long enough for us to forget what that was.
It has, because when the quarantine was first over, we opened the church back up and people were just coming. They couldn't wait to get there. Mm-hmm. Now, not so much. They're just like, I go next week. We're already just, back to where we were. So, but yeah, community. So, Ryan, do you have any great stories to share? I've been thinking today about, and I thought maybe you would. I kind of put you on the spot here. I apologize.
You didn't tell me anything of a story.
Yeah. Well, just think about, what's a great friendship that you've had growing up? Maybe, is there, I know I have a great friend, Mike. And Mike and I used to hang out a lot.
I like how you ask me, and then you're.
But I'm going to give you a moment to think about it. So I'm going to give you an example.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So
you got it.
Yeah. So, and then you can share one of your stories. Okay. Yeah. So I have this great friend, Mike, and we've been friends since I was in my 20s. Before, I mean.
That's a long time.
Actually,
that's a really long time.
Probably when I was like 17, 18 is when I met him. Yeah.
How old are you now?
And I'm old. I'm 112. Yeah. I have a good diet, though.
Yeah, you're 112. I'm 44.
Right, yeah. We eat well. Yeah. So that's not true. But yeah, so I've known Mike for some of you longer than you've been alive. But Mike and I, we can just pick up right where we left off.
Yeah.
You know, if I needed something, I could call Mike and he would drop everything and be there. And he knows the same thing about me,
Mhm.
you know? And so, and that's a value to have that kind of relationship with somebody that you can, you know, that, and I just wonder, do you have that? Another thing I was thinking about today, and then it's your turn, is moving. It's real quick to figure out if you've got friends, if you're part of a community when it's time to move. Now, some people want to move and they don't want anybody to see their stuff, and they want to take months to pack it. That's not me. If I got to move, I'll pretty much pack it because I don't want stuff to get broken.
Yeah.
But and if you're gonna move, make sure you pack your stuff. That's a big thing.
I've helped people move that weren't packed. That's testing a friendship.
That's testing it, right? Yeah. That's down on the list. But when you go to move, so the last couple of times last 4 or 5 times that I've moved, I guess, I can just call my buddies from church and say, "Hey, man, I'm moving this Saturday. Can you help?"
You're also the pastor, though, so they.
Well, I am the pastor. Maybe that's me. I don't know. But,
no, those people, they're definitely your friends.
They're definitely friends. Yeah, they're not just doing it because they have to. And they just show up, and it's like this whole little army of people. Mm-hmm. And moving is just done. I mean, just in a day.
Yeah, you don't send in the text, "Hey, can you help me move?" And I prayed about it, and God said that you're supposed to.
No,
that's not what you say.
No, I just say, "Hey, can you help me move?" Yeah, and then they say, "Let me pray about it."
Yeah,
yeah. No, they don't.
And then you say, "I already did."
Yeah, because I've already prayed for you. Yeah, come on over. Yeah, so your turn, Ryan. Friendships. What are some values that you've seen in friendships, during your life and stuff? 'Cause I know you're a great friend. I know you've got friends.
I have friends.
Yeah.
I have 2 really good friends, Blake and Doug.
Blake and Doug. Love those guys.
That have been there for me since high school. I think since the beginning of high school, and so I think that's maybe 12 years now.
Wow. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay.
And and so, but I mean, we've been close for quite some time. And then I also have my wife, which
great friend.
She's my best friend.
There you go.
So I have levels: my best friend, and then my second best friend.
Right.
Which is my
Blake and Doug. Yeah,
they're tied. But yeah, I have them. I really lean more on Aaron more than anybody else whenever I need to.
I think that's the way it should be. Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, I think a friendship is about trust and respect, and I know I have that in these 3 people.
Right.
I know I trust them and they trust me, and I respect them and they respect me, and I know that anything else that I ever go through, they would help me to the best of their abilities, that they're able to, within their means. I know that they would be there for me, and all 3 of them, and I would be there for them, And we've had times where we need each other, and we lean on each other, we call each other, and it's the same way, like how you were talking about with Mike. We can. There's times where we're not.
Yeah, you don't talk every day.
Yeah, we're not talking every day, and then there's some weeks where we do talk every day, or some weeks when we do talk every day or every other day, or we talk a lot, or we hang out. And it's like we pick up exactly where we left off. There's no awkward. It's like we just hang out and laugh and have fun.
Yeah. There's not that. How come you haven't been calling me?
Yeah. There's no guilt tripping or anything like that. It's just
because you're just friends. Yeah. Yeah, I've because I am 112, so I've lived forever. What I've learned in life is I don't need a whole bunch of friends.
Yeah,
but I do need friends, and 2 or 3 close friends are so valuable. Because when times get tough, when you're not moving, you just don't know what you're doing. To have somebody you can lean on.
Yeah.
And that's one of the verses in the Bible talks about Jesus, that he's a friend that sticks closer than a brother.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes family is not as close as friends. Even though they're blood, they're like, well, I got your back because you're blood. But, sometimes family can be tough.
Yeah.
but just, so even Jesus, the Bible talks about him and says that he's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. I just think that's a real powerful thought.
Yeah.
So we've got some notes we want to share with you guys. Let me pull my notes up. Ryan, I know you got some stuff. Let's back up and let's talk. Let me just recap 5 seconds of Sunday morning of where this kind of came from.
Okay.
So Sunday morning, I preached a message about Moses. Moses and the children of Israel, they've left Egypt. They're in a battle, and they discovered that when Moses held the staff up over his head, that they would begin to win the battle.
Mm-hmm.
But Moses is old. I mean, he's 80 plus at this point.
Younger than you.
But younger than me. Yes. Yeah. I don't know how we got off on that. So Moses has got this staff up, and as long as he's holding the staff up, they're winning. Yeah. But he's human, and he begins to get his arms tired. Yeah. And so his friends, Aaron and Hur, I think that's a good name, Hur. Man, it's like, I don't know. But anyway, they come over and they hold his arms up. And in just that selfless act to hold up his arms, they bring a victory for the entire nation.
Yeah.
And I just, I think that's a great place to start tonight, because friendships are so valuable, not just for you, but for your family, for your purpose, for your destiny, for the calling that God has in your life, for where God's directing you and taking you. I'll just say this, you will never really fulfill the calling of God in your life by yourself. It's just not designed that way. There, in the Bible, you got Paul and Silas, you got, Matthew, and all these guys, and they're with friendships. They're that community.
The 12 disciples.
The 12, yeah. It's never just one dude, saving the world. Even Jesus needed friends. Yeah. He shows up, but he has these friends that follow him. And so I'll just say that, just jumping out there, if you're going to do anything for God, you can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
God can give you a great plan and a great dream, but if it's a God dream and a God plan, it's going to be so much bigger than you that you're going to have people to come alongside you and to accomplish it.
Yeah. And so with the importance of knowing the importance of people, that means that I might have to change. If I'm having conflict in my relationships constantly, and everybody that I meet, there might be some growth that I might have to start working towards.
Right.
There might be some things that I need to change about myself if I keep arguing with people.
Well, because I look around, I got no friends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I ain't know what, nobody likes me.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know, just throwing it out there.
Yeah, that's not the will that God has for you.
Right.
That's not the calling that God has for you is to be solo, to be by yourself.
But what about the people though that get hurt by a friend, that get betrayed by a friend?
Yeah. So what I was just saying is like pushing people away. So you're kind of the one that those people are now having to find forgiveness in their hearts. But now if we're switching it. If somebody else is just constantly bickering, constantly arguing with you or pushing you away, it's up to us now to find forgiveness in our hearts.
Right.
That might not be somebody that we need to connect ourselves with, but it's somebody that we do need to learn how to forgive and love.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're saying that if I'm going to have friends in my life, there's going to be a give and a take.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to not hog the conversation.
Yeah. I'm
going to have to make sure I'm not the one that's always. Something that you had in your notes. I can't remember how it was written.
Which one?
But just about sharing the load, sharing the responsibility. I remember how it said that, but something about
the equity.
Yeah, the equity. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I have I follow Chad Veach, which is a pastor in I think he's in LA, and he's the pastor of Zoe Church. And I get emails. I signed up for his email list that he sends out leadership tips and stuff like that. And so one of his emails was 3 ways to protect and flourish your relationships. It says number 1 is build relational equity.
Yeah.
And so he says that relationships are similar to a bank. You deposit and you withdraw.
Right.
And so if you're looking at somebody, you're depositing into somebody, which is you're speaking into that person's life. You're lifting that person up. You're giving them compliments. You're there to help them.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you help them move.
Yeah, you help them move.
Money in the bank.
Yep. And they're there to also withdraw from.
Right.
Ask them for help. Ask them for things. They need to pour into your life. But with just as a bank, we never want to go into the negative. So we want to always make sure that we are putting more into them than we are taking out of that relationship. We don't want to be users of a friend. Right. We don't want to be users of a relationship. We want to make sure that we're putting more into the relationship than we are taking out. We want to have a rich relationship with those people.
Yeah, John Maxwell talks about something similar to that with leadership, and he talks about change in your pocket is what he calls it.
Yeah,
same kind of concept. So when I do something for somebody, I'm putting change in their pocket, and then there's times maybe in life where I need something from them, and because I have blessed them, it's the Galatians 6, sowing and reaping.
Yeah.
If I've and it's not that we do something kind for somebody just so we have change in their pocket we build equity, because then there's no equity of all. Yeah. Because people can see through that.
Yeah, something else that's a very important thing in a friendship is authenticity.
Oh, yeah, that was one of the things you read earlier about trust.
If we need to be authentic with people, because people are going to see through you, see through your fake compliments, your just you not being real. You laughing at a joke that's you don't even find funny,
right?
Just so you just
want them to laugh at your lame jokes too. Yeah,
So, if you're not authentic, people don't want to hang around somebody that's not authentic, that's not trustworthy, that's not that's not real. Nobody wants to be in a relationship that feels fake.
Right, or that is just depleting.
Yeah.
If it's just always taking from you. I mean, you meet somebody and at first, they have a need, and so you just respond and you help with the need. But if they've always got a need, eventually you have no equity to give them. It's so that I love that first point there is just build relational equity that we do for other people, not with like I said, not with expecting something back, but when you're kind to somebody, when you're a friend, when you're being there for them, it pays off.
Yeah. And we've already kind of hit on the other point that he made. It is don't use relationships. I already kind of said that, and I wasn't meaning to jump to this point already, but don't use relationships. Don't be a user in the relationship. And we want to be a good friend. You need to. I'll just read exactly what he says. It says, "Want more for them than from them."
From them, that's good.
So you want to see them grow instead of taking from that person. So you want more for them than from them.
Yeah. And you know what? So back to my friend Mike.
Yeah.
So there was a time I bought a sailboat. Remember that great big sailboat I bought, and it didn't have a trailer. And I bought it on an auction, didn't actually plan on actually winning it because it was just a couple $100, but it cost me a lot of money to move it.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a trailer. Like, oh my gosh, I won this auction, so now it's my responsibility to go get this boat. And so I found a trailer that was kind of close to the size, and then Mike, I called him because he was a welder. And I said, "Man, can you help me with this trailer?" Man, he welded, and it was a great trailer. The trailer was way more valuable than the boat was when it was all done. But I could call him, and I couldn't weld for him. But there was things that I brought to the relationship. There were things that when he needed someone to talk to, or when his little girl was going through surgery and stuff. And that's where that give and take. But that we're not just taking, we're giving and giving. And that's and it looks differently. What you give may not be what you need, but it's what they need.
And I feel like people watching this, us saying like you need to give, I feel like there's somebody listening that's kind of saying like, well, I don't have anything to even give. They're like, we don't have that. They're missing out on that self-worth to see what the importance is. The importance of their company, that they don't.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What are some things that people have that other people need?
Well, I think simply a person to sit next to is a major thing. I want to. There's different love languages, and how many are there? Five love
Yeah.
languages. I don't want to get into all those. You can look them up if you want to. But one of my biggest love languages is quality time.
Mm-hmm.
And so somebody that can just hang out with me, sit down with me and just either go hang out at dinner or even just watch a movie. We don't even have to be talking or like really communicating a whole lot. Or if I'm going through something, I just want company. I just want.
You don't need their advice. Yeah. You don't need their wisdom.
Yeah, I just need quality time. I just need your presence.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for me, just being there for me, and not meaning like you don't have to have the perfect advice.
Right. Yeah. So, that's good.
I mean, it can be just as little as that. So don't think for a second that just you hanging out with somebody. You don't have to know the perfect words. You don't have to know every scripture in the Bible. You don't have to have the best advice. You don't have to be the wisest person, but you just being there for somebody and being that shoulder to cry on if that's what they need. Being there, that person that can laugh at a silly movie with them. And just being in their company.
Yeah, that's a huge thing.
Yeah,
there's support. There's just a support. Just some of the things that I get into with church stuff. I don't expect somebody to stand up there and preach, but just that someone's there. Just that someone showed up. That's a big thing. It's a support. Sometimes I'll be in a building project or working on a car or something, or just something, and you don't need somebody that can actually fix it or repair it.
Mm-hmm.
You just need somebody to hold the light, to pull you out if you get in over your head or something. Yeah, so that's one thing that people so don't sell short who you are and the giftings you have. Yeah. You might just be a great listener. Mm-hmm. You might be a great cook. Sometimes just bringing food to people when they're out of the hospital. Yeah.
And I think most of the times being a good listener is more valuable than thinking you have wise words. Right. Because very few people have the perfect thing to say, but anybody can be a good listener.
Right. Yeah. And I've learned that somewhat the hard way. Giving advice and then watching people not take it. Is frustrating. But there's so many people in my life that have said to me, you were there for me during this, this, and this. Mm-hmm. And I can think of the things I told them, which were, wow, dazzling, wisdom. Mm-hmm. They don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
But they remember I was there when they went to court. Yeah. I was there when their kid was sick. I was there when they buried their, father or something. Maybe didn't even do the funeral, but I was just there.
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing. Your presence, man, let's just talk about that for a couple more minutes. Your presence is so valuable to people. Just you being there. And don't let the enemy tell, well, no one cares about, no one wants me around, no one wants me in their life. They do.
Mm-hmm.
Man, just pick up the phone and call somebody and say, hey, let's just go eat. Let's go here. Let's go there. Just spending time with people. I'm playing a movie tonight, I got some microwave popcorn or whatever. Because your presence is valuable.
Yeah.
It's huge. Even if you don't have, like Ron said, you don't have these fancy words or this, spectacular wisdom. You don't need that. They just need you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What else is on your notes?
The last one, it says the last of the three ways to protect and flourish your relationships. Defend people in their absence. So guard your relationships by defending and speaking up for them behind their back. Loyalty is never proved in someone's presence. It's always proven in their absence. Relationships are built on three foundational truths: trust, respect, and communication. Trust is gained by speaking up for people behind their backs.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So we need to see trust. We need to have respect. And we need to be able to communicate.
And that's what people are looking for in friends.
Yeah.
They're not looking, if you're the life of the party, that could be great, but it's probably not what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody they can trust. They're looking for somebody that's got their back when their back is turned. that's not going to just join in when they've walked out of the room and people are like, I don't like them or whatever, and then you just join in with them.
Yeah.
That's not a friend.
Mm-hmm.
A friend is someone that like you read, they have your back.
Yeah.
That they're there for you when you're not there. They're when you've checked out, or when you're struggling and everybody else is putting you down. They're like, no, man, that's my friend. That and bringing the good things out in them. That's a huge thing.
Yeah,
that's a huge thing. I've got a couple scriptures here I wanted to share.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the most important part of what we talk about.
Well, I mean, the things that there are all of that is based in Scripture. It's just it doesn't come across from a Scripture. So Ecclesiastes 4 verses 9 and 10, it says, 2 people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help them. Mm-hmm. And that's a huge thing. I mean, it's just like we talked about earlier. It's just so much easier if you have somebody to help you. If you trip and fall, sometimes it's hard to get back up when you're 112.
Yeah.
But, but to have somebody, and it's not just talking about physically. If you're struggling emotionally, if you're struggling maybe in a marriage, or you're struggling financially, just to have someone there that you can call to help you up.
Yeah, I have a good friend that I work with, Tyler, who we had both been working individually and having a tough time at our job, and you're in your car by yourself and you need to generate your own business. And so we decided to become partners and do everything together, because we were both having trouble individually. Mm-hmm. And as soon as we partnered up, everything became easier. Hearing a no, getting the door slammed in your face, somebody being rude, it all becomes easier whenever you have somebody to go through that with you. Yeah. You get back in the car, or you go through it together, and then you get to say, man, that was a hard deal that we just went through. Yeah. And so we found the value in the partnership that we have more valuable than we make more money working together because we actually make money. Whenever we were by ourselves, we were struggling to make anything. And so we found value in just having somebody there with us to go through everything together. And so there's just value in
I like
people.
what you said. Just if it gets the door slammed in your face, if it's just you afterwards, you're like, wow, that's terrible, and you're just having to process that through in your own self. But when you have somebody there, there's such value just in saying to somebody, man, that stinks right there, and that was terrible. Mm. Just saying that out loud to somebody, validates your feelings, and then you can move on. You can go
we had a bad meeting, a meeting that turned south very quick yesterday morning, and we got back in the truck, and first thing I said to him, I was like, that didn't go how I thought it was going to go. And we just kind of be like, yeah, that didn't go how I thought it was going to but it made it a little bit easier. Not that it was extremely easy to get past, it was in the back of my mind for the rest of the day, but it's just getting to voice that, talk about that. Somebody that's going through that with you, they understand completely where you're coming from because they go through it with you. And having that person to sit with you and be able to talk to and say, man, what I'm going through hurts. What I'm going through is hard. And I'm not asking for your advice or needing your advice, but I'm just needing you to be there and to go through it with me right now in this time.
Yeah, because a friend can celebrate the wins with you, and they're also there for the losses. Yeah, and that's a huge thing. Yeah, just to have that person to go through it with.
Yeah, and turning this back to church more than just a relationship between two people, a community, a church opens up the doors to finding those people that believe in the same thing that you believe in, can encourage you, can help you reach your goals, can help you encourage you to get on the right path, to stay on the right path, and saying, I whenever I picked up this Bible, it weighed a lot, and I didn't understand anything that I was reading, but I found this, I found that, I found this type of Bible, I found this translation of the Bible, and so I was able to go to this direction. I was able to, I was able to sort through this.
You're able to share that with
yeah,
them.
and having somebody that is like is there to help you with everything. And that's such a benefit for church, is that whatever you've gone through, I guarantee you, there's somebody in the church that we can connect you with, that you can get hooked up with, that has gone through it and got to the other side. Well, and in today's world, or not in today's world, but like just in life, it's hard to find a group of people that believe in the same thing, or are going after the same thing, want to see the same thing, want to see success, want to chase after God, there's not very many places as an adult, that you are able to find a group of people and that are nice, because the only other place that we have to go to find a group of people is our work, right? And
or the club,
but
that's not gonna work.
But because the last time I was around a large group of people was whenever I was in school, and
right after school, the pool shrinks,
very fast, and you start to realize, oh wow, those people. It's not that they were bad friends, but it's just like we're not as close as I thought we were, because there's that reconnection never happens, and then you find out like, okay, those people are a real friend, those people are gonna stick with me, those people are gonna reach out to me, those people are gonna pick up my phone call whenever I call, and so that group of 30 or 15 or however big your friend group was, it shrinks down to maybe 1 or 2 if you're very lucky, but church opens up that door to make that friend group larger. And it's just so important to be plugged into a church, to find a church. This is not just a large advertisement to just show up and boost our attendance whatsoever. So even if you're listening to this and you're like, that's great, but I don't live in Burleson.
There's a church near you, though. And that's one of the huge church brings so many values, but one of the huge things is, I want to back up a second. A lot of times when we're looking for friends, we're looking for people, and the only way we know how to find friends is find people that have the same likes. So I'm going to join a Jeep club, or I'm going to join a movie club, or a dance club.
I see Jeep club stickers all the time, but I never
see
a Jeep.
Man.
I never see the Jeep club.
They're out there. They're out there. I've been looking at buying a Jeep, so I've been looking into some of that. So the problem with that, though, if the way to find a friend is just to join a dance club because you like dancing, the problem is, though, we put value on the activity and not the value of values. And so to have like values, that's the thing that will unite people much quicker than I like Star Wars. Or I like popcorn, but I can like popcorn all day long, and I can, start a whole popcorn group. But what's the conversation is going to be about is about things of value. What are the values of your life? What is the moral value? What is your political, things? And those things will divide friendships because we don't have the same values. But when you come together in church, at a congregation, you already have a like value because you believe that God died for your sins. And that sets up just a whole new foundation of values.
It's a larger, better foundation to
build anything on. And it's a problem we make with dating, in dating relationships. We meet somebody in an activity, but then it's not till days, weeks, months later, sometimes years later, that you find out you have completely different values. And so we got to value the value. And that's one of the huge things, one of the huge blessings of a church community is we're already starting off on at least one foundational thing of love your neighbor as yourself. And that helps for friendships. That's why friendships at work a lot of times don't work out, because the thing that brought us together is work. You remove work, and if we don't have any same values, we don't have the friendship. And so that's a huge thing, that we find people with like values. And if somebody doesn't have your value, it's okay. You don't have to be best friends with them. But but don't give up. Find people about, what is that verse? Hebrews 10:24 and 25. I want to get to the end of this, but
this is great.
Yeah, let me read this. I want to first focus on the end of this. This says Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24 and 25. And let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near. And that day drawing near is talking about the end of time, when we can't, when trials and tribulations are so immense that, or the rapture happens, or, that's really what's talking about, the end of time, but that we don't neglect that, because as times get tougher, we need friends more than ever before. And we may not have realized that until, we were quarantined.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I got to have some friends, I need somebody that's got my back.
Yeah.
But so what the first part of that says, let us consider, so here's one of the great values of a friendship. Let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works. That's what a good friend does. A good friend encourages you to be better. It's what we talked about at the beginning of this. They're putting change in your pocket. They're investing in you, not for what they can get, but for just they want to see the best in you. Yeah, and so it stirs up one another to good works. And and part of the good works is we meet together. We continue to grow the friendship.
Yeah.
And that's a huge, huge thing. Was there something you wanted to share on that verse, Ryan? I know you had that in your notes as well.
No. I mean, you pretty much hit it all.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can add to it. I just really like that it like the wording that it uses whenever it says, I just love how it reminds us, don't neglect our meeting together.
Right. Right.
Don't take it for granted. Don't forget about it. Find the importance in the community. Find the importance in numbers. Find the importance in not being alone. It's so much easier to go through something together than by yourself.
Oh yeah. But it's so easy in just in life, take COVID-19 out of the picture. Just in life to just get so busy.
Oh yeah.
And I've got to mow the yard, I got to do the laundry, I got to do this, I got to do that. Yeah. And before you know it, your life is gone, and you have no friends. You get to the end of your life, and you're alone.
Yeah.
And that's a terrible place to be, because you are so busy. And sometimes we can get so busy that we don't even realize we're just kind of on autopilot. We go to work, we go home, we eat, we go to bed, we get up and we do it all over again. And before you know it, we've depleted all the good stuff in us. We've built a company for a boss, or we've given our life to everybody else, but there's nothing coming back. And so that's why it says that we don't forget the meeting together. He's bringing attention to that, because we'll get so busy we won't reach out and find friends.
Yeah, we need to not just say that community is important, that friendship is important, but we need to act on that.
Right.
We need to make efforts to show and to have action behind our words that says that I make community important, not things that are in my life, because we get too busy with everything else that we lower the value of community, and we raise the value of things and appointments or sports,
just being busy
or yard work,
right?
Or sleep,
You could, because you could maintain a house and have the perfect house but have no friends. That's terrible. Yeah. So,
or you could put. I mean, you could have you have too much time, or not enough time. Got it completely backwards.
Yeah.
You have not enough time because you work so much. So your importance, your life is showing us that you're important. What you find important,
your value is,
what you value is money. What you value is work. You're showing me that you don't value me. You're showing that you value your money more than you value my time.
Well, and I think you're also showing the people that need you in their life that you don't value. What you bring to the table is money, not you.
Yeah.
And you are way more valuable than the paycheck that you make.
Yeah. A father a father
Yeah.
figure is so much more important
Yeah.
than a paycheck.
Yeah, well, I got to work. I got to buy the Xbox and this and this. I bet you when your kids are in their 20s, what they would have much rather had was less toys and more of you.
Yeah.
And if that's true in a father relationship, it's also true, in those friendship relationships.
Yeah, and
So,
a kid would much rather play something simple with their father than play something with something more expensive by themselves.
right, with people on the internet that they'll never really have any real true interaction in. Yeah. So as we wrap up, one of the things I wanted to kind of bring out. So if I just show up at church, Gary, you're saying that I'm going to have friends. No, it doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
Just showing up to church, some people that I've actually spoke to and said, I just have no friends. They come late and they leave early.
Yeah.
They just show up, they don't have any interaction with anybody.
Yeah.
To get the full value, the community of church, get involved in church.
Yeah. I mean, that goes back to the equity part. You're
putting in.
Yeah, you need to put something in.
Yeah. What do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
Yeah, and back to that in church stuff. Sometimes what they need at church is a body. They need somebody to be present, in an activity or in a room or something. But that if you're going to come to church, don't come later and say, well, I went to church, I did it for 6 months and no one likes me. Well, the Bible also says to have friends, you have to show yourself friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean? You invest in other people's lives. Yeah. You don't just come early and leave, come late and leave early. Yeah. Get involved, get in people's lives. Some of the greatest friends I have, current friends I have in my life in the last 10, 15 years are people that I didn't even know until I went to church. And then they volunteered for something or I volunteered for something. And in that like purpose, met people and they're lifelong friends.
Yeah. To have great friends, you need to be a great friend. To be a great friend is to understand how much God truly loves you, right, and how much mercy He has for you, and it makes it easier to pass that mercy on to somebody else if they mess up.
Yeah.
And whenever they are in the negative with you, you forgive that negative equity that they have with you. And you show them mercy. Right. They don't do anything but take, but you continue to give.
Continue to give, and you can do that because God gives to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because God's in the giving business.
Yeah.
Was it Abraham that was the friend of God? I think it was Abraham.
Or was it Moses?
It might have been Moses. I don't know. My brain is blank right now. It's either Abraham or Moses. But
I know Moses had a different relationship.
Yeah, one of those old guys was like be called the friend of God. That's just crazy. Well, so even God needs friends.
Yeah, but I mean that's us today. We get to have the same relationship that all of these other people, all of these great people. Jesus coming to the earth opened the door for us to have that exact same type of relationship. For God speak to me as a friend. I believe that's what Moses's prayer was. Speak to me as a friend.
As a friend.
Yeah. Or I don't know. I might be
making it up as you go along.
Yeah. But I know there was a prayer in there that was something similar to that. It might not be Moses, but I mean, we get to have that same relationship, and He lives inside of us, And so whenever you feel worn out, you feel thin, you feel like there's nobody around you, that you might have worn out all of your friendships, or you might just not have put enough into the friendships for them to stick around, or you might just not have any friends because you're just running into negative people. But God is there for you, and He can boost you back up. He can give you more strength to step out one more time to find another friend, because you might have been hurt by too many people. God forgave you. God's going to give you forgiveness for other people.
Right. Don't just write off people. You need them.
Yeah.
We all need people in our life. We need friends, and there's somebody that needs you.
Yeah.
There's somebody out there that needs your friendship. I promise you that. Well, we're out of time, Ryan.
Yeah.
I think we've had a pretty good discussion tonight.
I think
it went very well. I love you guys. If you guys need a friend, hit me up. I'll give you Ryan's number. No, I'm just messing. I love you guys. You guys are incredible. Thank you for joining us tonight. Find somebody that needs a friend, and that's one of the greatest ways to find a friend is find somebody that needs one. and be that friend to them.
Yeah.
Don't look at it from, I need a friend, no one likes me. Man, lose that attitude and look around and see who needs a friend and be the friend to them. Man, that's just a huge thing. You know what? If somebody called me and said, hey, let's go to dinner, I'd probably go. Yeah, I don't know. It depends on what they're eating. But there's chicken everywhere. So I could find something. But yeah, reach out to somebody and be a friend to somebody. Be a friend today. It's a huge thing. Well, I love you guys. Anything else, Ron, we need to talk about?
I don't think so. I think we hit it all. I think we're good. I think we've gone a little long as well. So we are good to go. All
right. Well, guys, I love y'all. If y'all have a prayer request, you can always go back and put it in the comments or put it in the comments now. Thank you guys so much. And we love you. And we will see you. Well, I will see you next Wednesday. Hopefully, Ryan will be here.
Yeah. I'll be at church on Sunday.
You'll be at church on Sunday. Well, that's good. Yeah. So I'll be at church on Sunday. Yeah. If you need a friend, come see me.
Yep.
Man, check in. Love you guys. Be blessed. If you don't live in this area, find a church home somewhere near you. If you just moved, best way to find friends is find you a church. I love you guys. Be blessed. I'm Pastor Gary. This is Pastor Ryan. We are out of here.